so geeked. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Chats with Chantla. I'm so excited for this episode. I have the dynamic team of Unlock Academy here. Y'all are in for a treat. I don't even know what to do. I'm ready to burst. Like, I really am ready to burst. So, how are y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
Excellent. Thank you, Chantla, for doing this.
Oh my gosh, you know I'm like, okay. Let me calm myself down because I'll be a chatterbox. So what I want everyone to know is like who you are. So I would love for you guys to introduce yourself. So we'll get JJ and Antoine back on there. And then, but as they get, here they are, they're back. You know, listen, if anybody needs a platform to use and you are not very familiar with technology, StreamYard is it, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. But I'm going to ask the members of Unlock Academy to introduce themselves. And I will start with Zach. You know, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but Zach is looking like very useful today. I told him, I said, I don't know if it's the background or if it's the blue, but he got it going on. So let's start with Zach Patton.
Thanks, Chantla. Yeah, Sean was gassing me up before you guys got on. I'm giving my credit to the blue T-Dot bot. I think the blue just looks good on me. That's all. I told her, like, I don't know why I look younger because over the past few months I've really aged. So I don't know. So it's just a lucky day. But yes, Chantla, thank you for having me. I'm Zach, marketing director at Unlock Academy. I'm here with my family and my business partners, family first. I'm very excited to be on this platform. Chantla, it's great to see you again. Good to be speaking with everybody.
Absolutely. And I'm going to pass it down to Greg.Digital. Introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me, Chantla, as well as the rest of the family. I am Greg Bryant, aka Greg.Digital, and I am the Director of Student Success.
All right. We're going to pass it to no other than JJ.Digital and your father, Antoine. But I'm going to start with my baby girl. What's up, Jay?
Hi, Chantla. Thank you for having us. So I'm JJ, aka JJ.Digital, and I'm the youth leader of Unlock Academy.
She's being so modest.
Yeah, more like youth leader of the world, but
right.
It's all good.
No, but I'm gonna let her warm up because there's so much more than that.
Yeah. We're gonna let her get away with that.
Yeah, we're going. But I'm gonna pass it over to you, Antoine.Digital. What's up?
What's up, everybody? My name is Antoine. I'm one of the founders of Unlock Academy, CEO, and really grateful to be here with y'all and be here with my family too.
Absolutely. Listen, when I tell you y'all are in for a treat, I want y'all to remember that y'all saw all of them right here on Chats with Chantla because they're going to be on every television show coming up in 2021 and beyond. So just remember that you connected on Chats with Chantla with these amazing people. So I just want to start this conversation because I've known you guys for a while, but people who are watching, when I say get your questions ready and place in the comments because there are going to be so many things that you want to know and you're going to want to be able to ask them while you have them. So the first thing I want to ask, and anybody on the team can answer, is where did the idea for the business come from?
So I'll start on my half and then I'll let Antoine jump in. He kept coming to me. He's like, cousin, I want to get back into teaching. I really want to get back into teaching. So I'm like, all right, when you're ready, let me know. He's like, no, I'm like serious, like right now. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is a thing right now. Like, jumped in, started doing the website, and Antoine.
Okay, well, let me even take it back further. How did y'all learn how to code first and foremost? Like y'all, that's business idea, but like, how did that even come about? So we can't even skip that because it's not like, okay, yeah, I've been coding all my life.
Like years now. Okay. So
yeah.
No, we were born in the future. That's just what it is.
Right. I don't even
Oh,
think
so you got that tricky thing?
technology. Technology chose us.
That's so true. That's so true.
We'll get you back, Greg. We'll get you back. So, Antoine, carry on to the part two of that.
It's one of those things, and this is why we do what we do at the Unlock Academy, because we believe that we all have this inner genius inside of us, right? We all have this inner, you can, whatever you want to apply it to, it could be tech, it could be real estate, it can be design and fashion, right? But our goal at the Unlock Academy is to help people unlock that skill.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because we first had to figure out that we had to unlock it for ourselves first. So what you're seeing right now is like years and years of like a lot of self-investment, right? Self-awareness, learning about who we really, really are. Um, and coding is just one thing that we do, but overall, like you said, we're just like this like this tech company, this tech movement. This what we want, what we call is like we're spearheading this Black tech renaissance, and we just really want to help our people get ready for the digital future. So I personally started learning how to code about maybe, man, it's going on 10 years. Wow. I got about 10 years under my belt. And in one of the weirdest places, right? I started learning how to code while serving time in a prison, right? Serving time in a state prison in New York State, serving about 8 years for criminal possession of a weapon. And I was at my lowest point, right? Because I'm like away from family, away from friends, away from my dream to be in like sports world. And I'm sitting in a prison trying to figure out what my next step is. And I ended up learning through reading just like a couple articles in the USA Today back in 2010 that the tech industry was booming, right? That this huge mobile app explosion was happening because the first iPhone had just came out. You know, the smartphone was becoming this big part of everybody's lives. And I'm missing this whole revolution, but at the same time, I was super intrigued, even behind bars. So I took it upon myself to start learning about this world of tech and more specifically coding and data and algorithms and encryption and hacking and all of these other things that come along with that, with the tech space, blockchain, right? Crypto, all of these things that are now like really, really popular. I was learning almost a decade ago because I had no idea what was happening. I was super interested in it. So yeah, while in prison, I spent maybe 6 or 7 hours a day learning how to code. And my family, who you see here, right, Zach was already super futuristic. He had the vibe already techie, tech savvy. Greg already tech savvy. And I reached out to them while I was in prison and was like, hey, like we should start a business. We should do something. Like we need to be bringing some of the resources that's in the free world to the incarcerated population. So literally while I was in prison, like we started our first business together. And since then we've started about 3 other businesses, but it's just amazing like how it all kind of started, you know, and it's because we believed in ourselves.
Absolutely. I love that. I'm going to ask Zach, like, I can't stop looking at the sweatshirt that you have on, and it has Unlock Academy, but the image on it, because I know you're the director of marketing. What is that? Give us a little backstory on who created it and what does it stand for?
Oh, I have to give this one to Antoine. It was my idea to you know, with the colors and the gold on the blue, but you know, this graphic, this is his,
Wow.
it's, as well as this font, but I'm going to kind of start it off and then I'll give it back to Antoine. So this is a Sphinx, obviously. If you think about like, you know, the Great Pyramids and things like that. Antoine kind of stumbled upon this area of mathematics called Fibonacci, right? Recognizing patterns.
Yep.
So this just kind of became the official symbol of T.Bot, which was, you know, an automated trading bot that was built through Unlock Academy. And yeah, like I said, this is just sort of the symbol. I got you guys probably can't see it, but the back is cool too. So the Sphinx just kind of became one of the unofficial logos of T.Bot, which has been a huge fintech movement under the Unlock Academy. We were just speaking a lot about fintech last week. It's something that we're really excited about as a team. And like I said, this is just one way that we go and rep that.
Love that. And I'm going to get back because I know our audience is going to want to know more about T-Bot and how it actually works and how you can gain financial freedom from that. But Antoine, I want to come back to you because you said something about learning how to code while in prison. That is when I think about all the obstacles and hardships and oppressions that you go through while incarcerated. How in the heck did you create your mindset to be able to absorb that, retain it, and then manifest it into your reality once you came home?
Great question. Great question. So first of all, just in case it wasn't clear, this is my daughter, JJ, right here, JJ.digital, and she was a big part of that, right? I gotta give her a lot of credit because one thing that I had in prison was hope, right? I still had like this hope that I was gonna be able to redeem myself and still do something great when I came out, and it was because I believe my daughter didn't write me nasty messages, right? She came to visit me. She didn't give me snotty faces and be upset or angry with me. So believe it or not, like that little bit of belief that somebody else had in me helped me believe in myself so much more, right? It could have been a total opposite. If she would have hated me, I probably would have hated myself. So I say that to say surround yourself with people who believe in you because it can affect how much you believe in yourself. So with that came a lot of good luck, right? A lot of what we call manifestation, right? We manifested everything that we have in our lives now. We really believe that. And just me, as soon as I started reading about these tech articles, like so much opened up around me. I realized that I had access to a computer lab. I realized I had access to coding based books, a library with books in it, teachers who would bring in software on a USB chip for me to actually learn on, um, and a couple other things as well. That just made it possible for me to learn how to code while in the prison. So it came down to like opportunity, but seizing that opportunity too. If I didn't have the ambition and like the belief and like the optimism to say, you know what, I can make this work, it wouldn't have worked out. And there's like, and the bad part is coding isn't in every prison. Like every prison doesn't give you computer access, but some do. And there's people in those prisons who won't take advantage of it just because they don't believe.
Absolutely. JJ, how do you feel hearing that you inspired your dad at such a young age based on the way you interacted with him?
Yeah, it always makes me feel good because I always loved my dad. So like no matter what was we was going through or like even though he was in prison, I never like wanted to make it like not a big deal, but just like something negative because it's like there's people in this world that don't have a dad at all. So I just seen the positive side of it instead of the negative side. So to see that like he wanted to change because of me, it always just makes me feel like inspired because many other people like don't care to change for anybody or don't care to just be there for their kids in any way. So it just makes me feel good that I was a part of something like that.
I'm sorry, I almost got emotional, and I cannot be having these eyelashes fall off. Um, so I'm going to keep it true. So if you're just now joining in with Chats with Chantla, we have the amazing dynamic team of Unlock Academy. They are not just a team, but they are family members who are building a legacy for the people. And when I say that, include yourself. So if you're just now joining in, make sure you hit replay to hear all the different things because what they do is they manifest their dreams and reality to help beyond them. And I think that's amazing because you can get to a level of success and say it's all about me. And it's never been that for this family, for this team. And I think it's amazing. And it's also necessary for us to see us in tech and not just Black people, but other people of color. It's so important. But the Unlock Academy is very dear to my heart. And you are seeing them together and you're hearing their story that's going to inspire you and leaving you wanting more. But I want to also ask, because tech is so important, but when I think about the tech aspect and who has always been in it, I want to go to Zach, because Zach, when I met you, you were just a being from another planet, I should say. Your creativity is out of this world. Your fearlessness to be who you are unapologetically, to be who you are and not need validation from anybody. That is encouraging, that's strengthening, and it's motivating to so many people. But when you think about tech, why did you choose? Like, why was tech so important to you, and why did you choose to move forward in the tech industry?
Yeah, like Greg said, I didn't choose it. It chose me. I was just talking to somebody the other day. I forgot, but I made a joke. I said, I've always been a computer nerd who just happens to be good looking. You know what I mean? Like I've always just been into computers. You know what I mean? I've always been into video games. Like, you know, me and Antoine go back to the mid 90s, you know, playing with our Nintendo 64. So I've just always been into computer systems. And it wasn't until I was probably 16 to 17 years old that I really realized, oh, like I can actually harness the internet. I can harness my home computer to make something. And that's really when everything changed, when I, you know, started like making music and designing graphics. I was like, oh, I can use this machine to produce something. And I've never looked back from there, ever.
I don't know. And then you do so many other things. We're going to get into that. But I'm going to jump down to you, Greg, because you said you're the director of student success. So tell me a little bit more about the students of Unlock. How many do you have? Is it just local? Is it, you know, in one state? Like, tell me a little bit how many people you're reaching.
Well, we currently have a little over 20,000 enrolls.
Did y'all hear that? 20,000.
20K.
Our students are dope. Oh my goodness. Our students give us motivation every day. We talk about motivation, but our students motivate us every single day.
That's real. Mm-hmm.
And then are they like just in the States? And while Greg gets back, is it just in the States? Okay,
no, we have students all around the world. Some of our top students actually come from Africa. Shout out to Olufemi.
Okay. And so y'all are working 24/7 then, because that's not my time zone and it's definitely not yours.
Yeah, it definitely gets funny around the clock. Yeah.
and our team gets a lot of credit too, right? Like he said, Olufemi is somebody who's based in Africa and now a coach at the Unlock Academy, right? We have other coaches who are on different time zones, coaches on Mountain Time, Pacific Time, Eastern Time. Every time zone, we have someone. I'm not going to say everyone because I don't know them all, but we have someone pretty much around the clock, always ready to answer students' questions, emails, things like that. So it's really great to have the team that we got.
So you have 20,000 students worldwide, 24/7, teachers, just all this support that's able to happen for the success of the students. I want to say the tribe, as you say it, of Unlock Academy. What are some of the specialties that you actually, if I could call them specialties, that you teach your students in regards to technology?
How about we all just do one? I'll go first. I'll start with trading. That's been one of our biggest ones. So a lot of people think that at first we were just going to be like this coding school and we teach people how to code, which is still, in my belief, the most powerful skill in the world, because everything around us is becoming digitized. And to turn something digital, you need to know how to code it, to keep it simple. Okay, so there's code behind every video game, behind each live stream, behind every television channel. There's code behind it. So we thought that was a great skill to lead with, and it was successful. We're still teaching people how to code, but we also branched off and started teaching people about, you know, trading, investing, how to get acquainted with these digital assets like foreign exchange and cryptocurrency and blockchain as well. So that's one of the skills that we teach people, is how to day trade, how to look at a chart, or how to use our automated trading system to actually make money in the markets.
Wow. Somebody else going to take another specialty of skills that
the other one is definitely front-end development. When it comes to websites and web design, that's personally where I kind of got my start. Pretty much everything I know how to do it because at some point in time I had to do it for myself. So I kind of started off developing websites for my businesses, you know, coming out of high school. And this was long before any type of Shopify or any type of, you know, friendly platform where anybody could grab a computer and build a website. So I really come from an earlier time where you had to be a designer to design a website. Like I said, now it's been democratized where you don't necessarily need to be a designer. So it's really great with Unlock Academy that we're able to push that generation forward of people who really care about customer facing interfaces and web layouts.
Okay, and before I go any further, raise your hand of how many of you have a degree in computer. Exactly. Do you see that?
I tried to take a computer course once. That counts.
Why I had to stop you, Zach, is because so many people think that you have to have went to college to be able to have the skill sets that you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a myth that they use to keep us out. They try to scare us by saying you have to get, $50,000 a year to pay for your tuition. You have to be, really, really good at mathematics in order to be successful in the tech space. And we're here to debunk all of those myths and let you know you do not have to have any of those extra, paper credentials to be a part of the tech industry, this tech movement.
And I interrupted that because I want people who are watching, thank you for watching, Tanya, Chelsea, LaKayla. Thank you all for just joining in. There's so many other people. If you want to shout out, leave a comment, do something for Unlock, they're here. So many people feel that they have to go to college, like you said, and I love that. And not only are you debunking that, you're unlocking the minds of people to say, I don't have to go in debt to make money. Like people are going in debt to possibly make money, not guaranteed to make money.
Yes.
Let's just say it like that. There's no guarantee in it. And so I just think that what you do and how you're doing it is so fly, so dope, is so generational, I should say, and like financial freedom, and that's for generations to come. And that's why I said you're not only a dynamic team, but you're a family that is building legacy for the people. And I am one of the people. And so are you, if you're watching. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, my brother Maurice, Tamara, everyone who's watching. I think it's amazing. But I didn't want to cut you off, Zach, but I just wanted people to know, like, none of the four that you see on the screen have a degree in this. They didn't go to school for it. But just because you don't have that piece of paper does not mean that you are not qualified to do it. Don't get it mixed up. So we'll allow you to keep
beautiful about the era that we're in. Like it, we're seeing this shift in society, this transition where we're eliminating middlemen, we're eliminating leeches, we're eliminating people who don't really need to be there. And I think, like Antoine said, one of the biggest myths, is institutional education being exposed. And now we're in this era, like, can you do the work? Yes or no?
Yep.
That's it. You can do the work.
We'll hire you.
Yeah.
That's we teach our students and then hire them.
Yeah.
100%.
Here, I'm gonna put this on the screen. If you have the will, Unlock Academy has a way.
Love it.
That part.
You feel me? Like, if you have a will, they are providing a way. So you are the only obstacle that you have to conquer. You're the only wall that you have to knock down.
Yes.
You're the only one stopping you from moving forward. I just love it. Like, this is amazing. And I think I want to, continue to allow people to hear more about what you're saying. But every time I look at like Zach and I'm thinking about JJ, I'm like, darn, when I did video games, it was Atari. It was a stick and a red button. So like it was Pac-Man. So Pac-Man looked very much like what coding looks like behind the screen. But now there's so many games. And when you said that, Zach, it made me think, like, people don't even understand, like, you could build a game as a coder and be paid and never work again in your life.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say when you asked what's the different things we provide. We teach kids how to build their own games.
Tell us a little bit more about that, JJ.
Yeah, so we just figured that since like you saying, like, since you've been like playing games and Uncle Zach and my dad and everything, games have evolved like so much. And we see that like kids are really magnetic towards games. Like, kids love games. They will be on them all day. But it's like, little do they know they can build their own game too, and people can love their game just as much as they love Fortnite or something. So we decided, why not create a course where we can literally teach kids to build their own game.
I love that. And so, JJ, you are a teacher. What is the youngest student that you've taught?
The youngest student, 6.
6.
So the youngest student would be in kindergarten about.
Sheesh.
Pretty much.
That's all.
If anyone's reading this, do you understand the power that coding has? There's no age limit to it.
No.
You know, and so JJ just turned 16. Congratulations. But she's been a teacher of code for a while. And her youngest student was in kindergarten. That should blow your mind. That should want you to run and find out more about Unlock Academy. You can find them on Instagram at Unlock Academy, www.unlock.academy. Go find them out. Sorry to keep interrupting you. I'm just extremely blown away. And I'm so glad people are joining the conversation. Thank you so much for joining Candy to learn more about Unlock Academy. And she said, yes, teach kids to build their own. I love this. So you have so many people just really inspiring by the conversation. Tamara said, wow, I didn't know that you didn't have to be great at math to become a coder. And another person just wanted to ask was, how old is your oldest student?
Oldest?
We got some students up there. We got some in the 50s.
Yeah, for me or for in general?
Yeah, she's probably talking about
in general, yeah, we got 60s.
Yeah, we like to say we go from 6 to 60.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. So Greg, tell us a little bit more about what Unlock offers in regards to specialties.
Freelancing. Since all of us actually came from the freelancing world, we had to offer that back to the people. So you pretty much don't need to be confined to an office space or confined to your home or anywhere. You can freelance from anywhere. Freelance from the coffee shop. You can go on vacation and still work. And if you know anyone that needs a website made, you can be their freelancer. You can get money from just creating stuff out of nothing. That's what we do. That's what we teach people.
I love it. Zach, what has been your greatest motivation? Why haven't you quit? Why haven't you thrown your hands up and said, I'm not doing it anymore?
I have way too much fun with these guys. I have way too much fun to throw my hands up. But on a serious note, the motivation is I kind of look at myself as like Paul Revere. You know, I look at I see a world that doesn't exist yet, but I know that people like us will inevitably live in it. So my motivation is to set up a blueprint. You know, we try to live like it's already 2030 and exemplify that, because I know people look at us and people follow us. And, you know, we have this history of being left behind in just about every industry and in every walk of life in America. But I'm like, if we can get more mentors, which is what Unlock Academy is all about, if we can get more people exemplifying how, you know, a successful way to exist in the future, when we arrive at that moment, there won't be a strain. There won't be another struggle. It's not going to be a strife. You know what I mean? We can just move like water into it. So my motivation is just to let people know, like, hey, like, this is available to you. Hey, this is where this industry is going. If we don't do anything, these are the ramifications on our people, which there always are. So I just always try to get people to be looking at tomorrow.
I love that. Do any of you feel a sense of responsibility to be an example? Because Zach, when you were talking, it made me feel like you were like, I identify myself as a leader, and a leader has a different type of responsibility of educating people that are looking at them, following them. So, you know, that's not an easy thing to put yourself in that position to be looked at. So do you feel like you're responsible to make sure that the face of tech is changing?
Yeah, like the way I see it, because I know how powerful we are, if we recognize that, or even didn't recognize it, and just sat around all day and didn't do what we did, we might as well be dead, honestly. It would be no use to anybody. So it's 100% responsibility. Like we have to. I can't even, I don't know, I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it. Like if we didn't do what we do, like, I don't know, like humanity would be off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
if we
wouldn't
don't
be
do
right.
it, who will?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
I'll piggyback
And
just to say
yeah.
about our ancestors, man. Like the amount of work that was put in for us to be able to have this opportunity, right? To be where we are right now. Like Zach talked about earlier, the Sphinx right there on his hoodie, right? That was like pure intelligence, genius, and like they worked so hard to build, like these huge monuments that still stand to this day. Like
Mhm.
we should be we're on those people's shoulders. So we either gonna be
Yes.
on those shoulders with our head high, or we're gonna look down and act like we don't even know like the people's shoulders we are standing on. So like I do this a lot too for our ancestors, just to make them proud, but also just seek revenge. I feel like we're owed a lot. Like our people deserve to be in the tech space. Our people deserve to be getting money on Wall Street, right? Wall Street was built on our backs. We built it. So I
Mhm.
feel like, yeah, responsibility for sure.
Absolutely. So if you're just now joining in to Chats with Chantla, I have the amazing team from Unlock Academy. We have Zach Patton, we have Greg.Digital, we have JJ.Digital, and Antoine.Digital. This is a family that is building legacy for the people. And what I mean by that, their legacy in the tech world of Unlock Academy is so much bigger than them. If you haven't heard and you just tuned in, you need to go back and hit replay. They have over 20,000 students worldwide. I can imagine. I forgot. I know there's so many countries that you're in, and I know, like we mentioned, Africa is one, but there's so many more than that. And there's so many different languages that people are learning. That are learning through the tech world, and also just when I think about languages that you are teaching through, that's another thing that's huge. And when I think about being able to do what you do, it takes a strong mindset, but it also takes a strong belief in self and manifestation of what you believe is yours. And Greg, I follow you on Instagram, and you are Mr. Meditate, Mr. Meditate Manifestation, all these things, and Mr. Peace. Tell us how you bring that part of your personal life into professional when it comes into being a support for student success.
Wow. On a few levels. So it started out just writing blogs, just writing about my experiences, writing about the things that I've learned, as far as meditation, as far as having a manifestation spot, how to actually create a vision board, things of that nature. But also being a part of or being the head of student success is just empathizing with students, like knowing that you really have people that you can reach out to, knowing that we got you. We got you. We understand that real life happens. We understand that you may be in a certain situation, but we got you. If we don't got you, who got you? We all we got.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I do have a message, and it's from Candy, and she said, "Yes, Antoine, honor your ancestors and acknowledge the work that has always been done. And now people are seeing the faces that have always been behind the scenes, building powerful words, powerful actions. I will share this information with everybody." So
That's chilling,
shout
Candace.
out
That's chilling for real.
Candace.
to
Thank you.
Candy.
Thank
And
you.
shout out to Candy. That is my cousin. Love her. Thank you for the support on both levels. But she's amazing, and thank you again. But I just love that all you're talking about, especially in regards to student success. But how do you determine the best program for your students when they want to enroll in the Unlock Academy?
Well, honestly, we let them bounce. One of our oldest students bounced around for a while until she found out what fit her. Because I mean, a lot of the times you have the whirlwind to deal with, so certain courses may just not be for you. It
At the
it it,
time.
it depends on, yeah, it depends on if you have that amount of time. So we don't necessarily force them to try anything. You
Mhm.
try what you try,
Yeah, I
and
think the point of Unlock Academy is almost to get in there and get lost. Like,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, look under the rock, look under the hood, see what else you might want to know or might find interesting. I think that when it comes to traditional education and the institution, it's like, let's say you want to go to school for psychology. You're just kind of locked into this institutional view of psychology for years and years and years. And the point isn't for you to really look around or ask questions. It's just to get through the program so that you can get your piece of paper and say, okay, I'm a psychologist. But again, we really encourage looking around. And it's because of that. That's because of tech and the way tech is set up. We say tech, but it's really about people and their needs.
Mhm.
The tech is just the intersection.
Yeah.
It's just a tool.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, like in real life, the tech industry is about it's this 360 view. It's figuring out where things are going to intersect, how things are going to collide, and what the experience is going to be like for the person in the middle. So, yeah, we would never tell somebody, "Oh, go through Unlock Academy, learn Python, and never look back." That's not the point, you know.
I love that. I love that people and their needs, that's what you address, but tech is the intersection. That's a lot. That's loaded. But when you think about it, it's the intersection where like when I think about the intersection, there's a stop sign
Mhm.
and it makes you stop and like look around to see when it's your time to go.
Yeah.
And by saying that, I think that's like phenomenal because people are waiting for their turn.
Yeah.
But sometimes people will go around you if you take too long,
Mhm.
and it's sad because when you're up next, don't let someone take your spot.
Mhm.
Do it scared, just do it. But JJ, I want to ask you a question. How do you advocate as a young person for people your age, for young people, youth your age and younger, to get involved with tech, not just in front of the TV playing the game, but behind the scenes and creating it?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of like showing them how I did it and like being an inspiration towards them because like it's like on a relatable level. Like it's easier for me to be able to talk to the youth than maybe my dad will because they're probably like, who's this young person talking to? But then they see me and I'm like close to their age, or like it's like how I own my little cousins. Like all my little cousins look up to me and always want to be with me and like love doing stuff with me, and that's how I kind of see it. Like just imagining them. Like I'm setting an example for them. I'm an inspiration to them. Like they'll listen to me over certain other people.
Absolutely. And just to give you an idea of the humility of this young woman, she has been in magazines that you go and purchase and buy. 17 is one. Like, it's not like your local news. She's been on Good Morning America, and she's just very humble. And her humility is what allows her to stand tall in so many people's story. And she doesn't let it go to her head. She is a highest honor student. She's doing all these things. And that's why when she introduced herself, like, she is such a motivation. She is such a talking piece. Like, I could talk about her all day. She has inspired me. She's my hero in so many ways. And I appreciate what she does and how she does it with such class and humility. But she doesn't need to puff herself up. I'll do it for her, and we'll do it for her. And it's not about arrogance. It's about the confidence that she brings. And I'll just shout out her parents for making sure that happens, that she has confidence and that she also has humility. And she has her cousin and her uncle here. So she gets it all around that she has this great support. So if you're just now joining in, you're hearing the stories of Unlock Academy and how their journey of entrepreneurship is making a legacy for the people. They are the people's tech company. They're doing some great things. They have students all around the world. But I want to know, having students around the world, how do you build a community for the students so they stay connected?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah, kind of going back to go ahead.
No, go ahead, Zach. I like it. Go ahead. Use it. Go back to what you were saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just kind of connects to what I was just saying about tech being an intersection for like what people need. So one way that we build community is through Slack. I know you've been a part of our Slack channel, so that's a messaging app that a lot of people use, a lot of organizations use, so that employees and things can stay in communication. Again, I think that this is the first time in which like a Black educational organization has used this specific tool to connect a global community. And it's really cool. There's all these different channels, people helping each other with homework, all types of stuff like that. So again, I think that we're really good at recognizing the tools that we have at our disposal, and implementing that, for the best outcome for the students. And it just so happens that we were able to connect people all over the world on just this one app.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. I love that. And I love how you guys call your community a tribe.
Yeah.
And anybody who belongs to a tribe, there is an identifying factor or something characteristic. What would you say if you've ever thought, like, what if someone had to identify, like, I'm unlocked? What would you say, like, is the identifying factor to say I'm in that tribe?
I think Peanut got it on his chest, and I think Zach got it on his back.
Staying
It's
dangerous.
that pyramid. When you see the pyramid, you think of unlocked.
No, it's
All
us.
right?
Yeah.
You see
You
that
guys see
pyramid?
it?
Yes, that's awesome.
That's our higher self right there. And yes, and also, you might see some students on Slack throwing up the two fingers. This is the U, which stands for unlock. And that's like, you're right. It's that tribe, and it starts from the top down. Us four, we're a tribe, right? We're family. But we also know, like, family is deeper than blood. It's about common values, common interests, common goals. So when we bring on new students, we're like unapologetic about what our goals are, what our mission is. People know that we are like 100% Black owned. And when we started this, we had an intention to change the face of tech. And we wanted to help usher in this Black tech renaissance. We'll teach anybody who wants to sign up.
Absolutely. And I also want, I'm sorry, you froze a little bit, Antoine. I apologize for interrupting you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Am I back?
Yes, you're perfect.
Yeah, I just was saying that our students understand that we're there, like, we created this for them, and we're here to support them. So we also encourage them to support each other. Like, we say, hey, check his homework. Answer if he posts a question and a coach doesn't answer it, you get to it before the coach even does. Help each other out. So just like, we're really big on encouraging students to, it's not like you're in school by yourself. No, we're in this all together.
Well, it sounds like you're creating the sense of family. You know what I mean? Like, when you come, you're always leaning off a big brother, a big sister, a cousin, an uncle, however it is. So I think that for me, Slack was giving me a sense of family, and, you went on there just to get someone to have someone say, good morning. I see you, you're doing great. There's all these different motivational factors that were a part of Slack, where other organizations are just using it for just one form of communication. It's a lifeline to connect all these people across the world and to give them a sense of family. And I think that is amazing. But I also want to put this banner real quick up here. Tech is the new drip. If you didn't know, now you know. Everyone's out, y'all are trying to chase other things. You need to be chasing tech, because that's where it really is. You want to be drippy. You want to be in tech.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. So how do you describe, or how can you describe to our viewers how you motivate students to achieve their goals?
Great question. I would say one thing, because there's a few different ways, but one is like through storytelling. On our social media channels, we tell like the successes of other people who are in the industry that look like and sound like our students. So like, yes, we have our own success as well. We try to advertise that, but it's not just us. There's a lot of people shining in the industry. They're just not getting that spotlight. So we try to put that spotlight on them. And then also bigging up our students who are getting successes. When one of our students lands a good job or lands a big client, we praise them and publicly so that other people can see it.
I think, and that is, when you see it, you can emulate it. It becomes tangible for you to be able to achieve it. And so you can manifest it in your own reality as well. But also, Unlock, y'all have done a lot of what I would consider charitable things. I know that you did some work in Watts. I know you've done a lot of work across the country. And the only reason why I say that is because I've seen that firsthand, the work that you were able to do in a community that is very underserved. A lot of people in society have thrown away. And there's so much history there, but you just gave a lot of hope. Give us a little bit of that experience about working and collaborating in that community.
Yeah. And in Watt specifically?
Well, I'm sorry. It should be just anywhere. Yeah, just I'm sorry. I said Watt, but.
I mean, one experience that really comes to me is like this pandemic has been going on so long, but yeah, end of 2019, we did an event with Colin Kaepernick in the Know Your Rights camp, and we taught a room of about 500 kids, teenagers, huge room in Atlanta, Georgia. Say it again.
In our room alone, because there were more kids.
Yes, and it was like this huge building, 3 different rooms. Technology was all set up so everybody can see us. We're streaming, and it's just like all of these kids. And we got the privilege to not only work with Kaepernick, who was like a living legend, but also to teach these kids, like have this opportunity to give back. We didn't charge anything to teach these 600-700 kids about coding, and on top of that, we were able to teach them using something that they're super familiar with, an Xbox, right? We taught them how to code using an Xbox, and it just was mind blowing. Like, so we got so many questions, so much interest, so much engagement, and it just felt great. It was like, this is where we're supposed to be. This is what we're supposed to be doing, and that was going to kick off our tour until COVID kind of hit and slow some things down. But now that the world's opening back up, that's what we love to do. We love to be out there, like engaging with the people, because they can see we're real. Like, this is not some internet scheme, fake influencer stuff. Like, we're serious about what we're here to do.
Absolutely. Zach, I want to ask you a question, because you're super duper creative. How do you bring that creativity into the tech space to help Unlock Academy take their marketing to the next level?
I think it's all about, again, painting a picture. So in my art business, I'm literally painting a picture or doing a graphic. In my transition to tech, it was, like I said, more about designing apps and designing websites, web flows, and things like that. But over the past year or so, I've taken a totally different approach and really redefined creative thinking. And like I said, now it's way more about taking design thinking and applying it to the world and really reimagining different ways to exist and different ways to approach problems that our community is having. So our big dream for Unlock Academy is to have these 20,000, 50,000 students worldwide get to the point where they're educated enough on technology that they can, without going to ask somebody or without needing permission or without needing to go scrape together resources that they don't have, they can implement real world solutions in their world, in their community. Photo Patch is, I think, the perfect example of that. It's like the epitome of that. Even if we had the idea that, hey, we really need an app where people can communicate with incarcerated family members. At that point in time, finding an app developer and deploying to the iOS store, that was still the Wild West. That's still, let alone our community, the knowledge just wasn't there. So us actually knowing what to do and going to implement it, I want to spread that. So we had a marketing call last week, and I was talking a lot about, let's do more picture painting, in the sense that let's talk about issues that aren't issues right now, but will be in the future, to motivate people on their why. Somebody goes to learn Python, not just to learn Python, but because they want to build something and they know that they need Python to do that. So to answer your question, the new level of creativity is it's more about engineering, and it's more about this grander picture. For example, I've been really into fintech lately. So I opened up Photoshop or Illustrator maybe, and I started grabbing the Venmo logo, Bank of America logo, Robinhood logo, and I started putting all these logos on the screen, and I was able to get a real visual sense of our current financial services market as people, as Americans, and as people of the first world. And then on one side, I kind of put.
Zach will be right back. Yeah. Well, we'll let him continue that. But
yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Yo,
yeah, he was on a roll. And technology tried to rob us of that, but we'll get it back.
No. Sorry, Zach wanted to some intellectual property things, and our lawyer said he can't.
Right.
Yeah, we had to. No.
Yeah, But Zach mentioned photo patch. For those watching, what is photo patch? Give us a little like blurb of what that is.
Yeah. Look like
Well, Photo Patch is our nonprofit organization, which allows kids to stay in communication with their parents in prison. So we have a website and app that allows these children to send
Sorry, guys.
photos and letters to their parents incarcerated off of.
Okay. And then what
Okay.
is
And
our
then
photo
what
patch?
is
Can you hear me?
no, can you say that?
What inspired photo patch?
I'll talk a little bit about yeah, so photo patches, like Zach said, it's about people's and their needs, right? Because that came back to a need, a serious need. Um, when I first like conceptualized and came up with the concept of photo patch, I was serving time in prison, and a big problem was getting like letters from my daughter and from family in general, but definitely my daughter. So she was a real young kid. She was 3 years old when I first went to prison, and that was tough in itself. And then like me being moved to a prison that was like 6, 7 hours away from her made it hard for me to get visits. So we were really dependent on like getting physical mail, and that's how most people communicate is through like letters. Now imagine a 3-year-old or 4-year-old or 5-year-old trying to send a letter to their incarcerated parent. They don't know the rules about the prison. They don't know where to get postage from. They don't know where to get envelopes from. They don't know how to get pictures printed. It's just a bunch of barriers. And I know JJ wanted to communicate with me because she would send me letters, but it just would take 2, 3 weeks for it to get shipped out and sent to me because she would have to wait for some adult to help her out, like her mom. Um, and I'm like, you know what? There needs to be an easier way. This needs to be super convenient for JJ and her mom, Gina. So at that same time, this was 2010 when I was thinking about, getting into the tech industry and learning how to code. I was like, I need an app. I need some kind of idea that's going to, help me break into the space. So I started just playing with that idea, writing out some notes, doing some research. I reached out to the team who you see right here, specifically Greg, and was like, "Hey, help me do some research on this thing. Like, let's see if this is a viable idea to be able to build this app for prisoners and their family members." So, still incarcerated, like we started fleshing it out, building business plans. I started building like a prototype of it, and the first website was built in prison. It allowed people to upload photos, type a letter, press send, and behind the scenes, it would like send the photo and letter to the prison through like physical mail. Of course, I was still in prison, so it didn't work. But the day I was released from prison, we got back to work. Right? I was released November 2014. By January 1st, 2015, we were already a registered company. And by April 1st, 2015, we were a 501c3 nonprofit. And
And
yeah, we just haven't
the
stopped since. Like we haven't
yeah,
stopped.
and so I know that photo patch was there was a update or an app that was on, is it an iOS? Am I saying it right? That was
Um,
created?
I mean, iOS and Android. So it started off,
Yes.
I built it, it was a website.
Yeah. Who did that? Who did that?
Yeah, uh let's talk more about that. That's where JJ came into play. Right? So JJ can tell that part of the story about like how this app got created.
So I did create the app.
How old were you? How old were you?
I was 12 when I created the app, but I learned how to code when I was 10 from my dad. He was always doing it. As he said, as soon as he came home from prison, he was on everything. He knew what he had to do. He knew what he wanted to do. So he was just working and doing the things that he loved to do. And I seen this like what he was doing, and I just thought it was cool because it was like I already loved my dad, and I already run a really strong bond with my dad. So I'm like, he is doing this all the time. Let me see what this is, so I can be doing it too, and maybe he can teach me. And then that's what happened. Like he was super excited to be teaching me because like, why wouldn't he want his daughter like alongside with him, doing the same thing he loves? So he taught me how to code, and I was just kind of figuring it out, doing little things. But then, like as a team, we all knew that we needed an app because, like, the digital world is still picking up. More and more people are using phones, not really computers, and it was like a big need. But there was so much other stuff going on as well. Like, not everybody had a chance to really sit down and do it. So I was like, well, I can try, like, as a little project, see what I can do because I know how much is needed too. Like, I know how much these kids really need to talk to their parents. Like, I was in the same predicament when I was younger, so I can try and see what I can do with it. And I did it. I built the app, and everybody
What year
loved
was
it.
that?
2017.
2017.
Yeah,
Anybody
absolutely.
who got kids out there, right? Listen, check this out. She started coding at 9, 10 years old. Built this app at 12, which is in 2017. She's been going viral for 4 years, right? Since then, like nonstop. So and viral is one thing, right? I know some kids care about that, but the level of impact that she's been able to have since then is just like amazing, astronomical. Like I'm happy for the rest of my life, right? I'm proud already for the rest of my life for what she's already done in just 4 years, right? So I say that to say like this is the power of tech. This is the power of coding, of learning these skills that can like really solve a real problem. We've been able to help over 50,000 kids send letters and photos to their mom or dad in prison, and that's a real problem that us as a team was able to solve. And then JJ as a youth was able to foresee and say, you know what, we need something even better, even more relevant to the way people communicate today.
I love that. I love that. That story, if you want to know more about it, they've been on Good Morning America, so you can see the whole story played out. You can just Google a photo patch and learn more about it. But I want to get back to you, Zach, since the systems didn't want you to tell the story, but you're back,
Right.
and I want you to pick up where you left off and share more about the insight that you have in regards to what you were speaking about.
Yeah, I was just talking about my experience the other day where I'm like reverse engineering our current financial system. And I'm having these realizations and realizing opportunities that we can go and fill and things that we can go and do. But I'm using a piece of software that I typically would use to make a graphic or make a sweatshirt. But it's the same mentality. It's the same thing I've been doing, since I was a kid. But to apply it to like these grander real world issues is a total trip. And I'm like, oh, it's like a different dimension to my creativity. I have a certain creativity when I go skateboarding. I have a certain creativity when I go build a website, a certain creativity when I pick up my camera and, go do photography. But, this tech stuff, this is a totally different level of creativity, and it's inspiring. I don't know.
It's truly inspiring because I've heard Unlock Academy photo patch, and Antoine, you have a shirt on, and I think it represents another.
Oh yeah, this is another one of logo designs right here. This is for our digital consulting company called Atlas Digital Group, and yeah, we pretty much help founders create apps, websites, logos, marketing material, just business strategies, any kind of digital strategy that you may need, we can help bring it to life. So that's our other company.
Yeah, so that's more than a logo on a shirt.
Say it again?
I said these things that people are seeing are more than logos on a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
They're businesses owned by the people that you're looking at from the ground up. And so there's Atlas, there's Unlock, there's Photo Patch. I mean, and it all started because of a need. Mm-hmm. Like they said, there was a problem and they created a solution. And people get into entrepreneurship to solve a problem. If you don't solve a problem, no one's going to come to you. Like, I don't go to Target. I mean, I go to Target because I like it, but I also go to Target because it's solving something for me as well. But they have aisles and aisles of solutions. Mm-hmm. And just because you are like, okay, there's a million different tech firms, doesn't matter if the industry you're looking at is saturated. It's like you still need to do it because you're going to fit somebody's need. No baker gets discouraged knowing that there's 50 other brands of bread in the bread aisle. They still bake every single day, and their bread is still selling. So you will be an acquired taste for some people, and you'll fit into some people's needs. So just do it. But I want to, you talked about 3 companies, and I want people to hear this. That I'm going to ask Antoine. I'm not asking him or anybody that's a part of Unlock because we're doing it to be arrogant, but I want people to understand that a thought or a dream was manifested in a reality that is now making financial freedom for them. So I'm going to ask you a very personal question. Can you share with our viewers how much Unlock Academy is valued at?
I could give a range. I give a range. How about that?
Yes, you can give us a range.
So first of all, like we first got even into this conversation about valuation last year, early in the pandemic when the pandemic first started. Mind you, Unlock Academy is a very early stage company, right? We started officially November 18th, 2018. So we don't even have 3 years under our belt. But within our first year, we reached out to some venture capitalists just to measure where we were in terms of like tech companies and education companies. And like instantly, that venture capitalist firm was ready to invest $1 million into us. So we were like, okay, we must have something really good here. We didn't take it, right? We didn't even go further. I told them we just was trying to, poke around, ask some questions. Since then, we've like, I don't know, we've grown exponentially a lot. We've grown a lot. So just because of where we're on track and what numbers we're on pace to do this year, we're easily evaluated anywhere between 7 and 20 million.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? We can say it in a whisper, between 7 to 20 million.
Yes.
Okay. That ain't six figures, that's 7 to 8 figures. Because sometimes people need a whisper because your ears tune up when you hear a whisper.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And so I'm gonna whisper that again: 7 to 20 million dollars in 3 years, less than 3 years. So what are you waiting for?
Yes.
Like, what are you waiting for? And tech may not be it, but this is an inspiring story to tell you to do something. When you come to that intersection, don't sit at the stop sign. Like, move forward. I mean, the things that the members of Unlock Academy are talking about are happening during a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
During a pandemic, not just everyday things, during a pandemic. And they still believe that this can happen. They're still building legacy for the people. It's Unlock Academy where they're unlocking so many things, but they're the people's tech company. And when I say people, it's all people, but especially Black people and other people of color that normally aren't the faces of tech. And not only that, let's break it down, even women, Black women and other women of color. Like JJ is sitting there. And if you need to follow her, jj.digital, she is the face of showing us that it can be done. She's 16. She's been doing this since she was 9.
We come from poverty. All of us come from the third poorest city in the nation, Buffalo, New York. Right. So if we can do it, you can do it. That's our key motto right there. Like we weren't born into privilege. Everything we got, we literally we built it ourselves. And thankfully we got some great lessons from our family members, our elders. But we're like on a frontier of this tech space in our family. We had to figure it out ourselves. And now we want to make it simple for everybody else who's behind us.
Yeah. And if you have a will, Unlock Academy has a way for you. I said it earlier. I'm not just saying that as just this little thing to say, this phrase.
Right.
This is actually what it is. And that way is not just for them. It's for anybody who wants it. Anybody who wants that and wants, I don't know what it would feel like to have financial freedom where I don't have to worry about money to pay bills or to take care of family members if I need to, and be able to, my life is my vacation. Instead of going on vacation, they're doing this. This is what y'all are doing. And when I say it's generations to come, it doesn't stop with JJ. This continues on to whoever has a child and their children have kids. It's unlimitless. And to know that and be a part of it, I think it's amazing. Like Tanya's all right, I like the emoji, wow. And the thing about why I wanted Antoine to share that is because we very rarely hear those numbers unless you're an athlete or a musician. It's like you have to play a sport or you have to be a rapper or something But to be able to get that type of money based on the brain that you're doing and the work that you're putting in, not that the other professions aren't, but normally when you think of a Black person in success, automatically it has to go to sports or it has to go to music. It can't be outside of that. But who do you think builds that billboard where the numbers for that score are shown and that music that they're doing? Coders are doing that. Like you want the latest phone, you could create it from being a coder. So I mean, there's so much that coding can lead and can bring freedom to, and just paying homage to the ancestors. Like, why do I want you to stand on my shoulders and you don't want to do anything but stand? I need you to get off.
Right.
I need you to get off. Like, I'm not trying to carry dead weight. But if you're going to use my shoulders to elevate you, then stand on them. And this is what they're doing. This is what Unlock is doing for everybody on tonight's episode of Chats with Chantla. They're sharing their inspirational stories with us to motivate us, to ask us, it's a story of resiliency and determination that is equaling just freedom in so many ways. And I don't know about you, but to have financial freedom means that my mind is clear and I can come back and I can meditate with Greg without worrying about, oh my gosh, like, can I get my child a hoodie from Zach, but oh my gosh, I can't meditate because I got to get to my 9 to 5. I want to be my own boss.
Right.
I wasn't thinking like JJ at 16 because I didn't have a dad that was showing me a difference. And it's people that look like us that have the ability. We don't have to look outside of ourselves all the time to be inspired. You're watching it tonight. And if anything, y'all need to replay this multiple times and bring family members and kids and your kids and kids in the neighborhood. There are 3 men that are living, telling a story. And one was even touched by incarceration, but actually all 3 of them were, because they're connected to that one. And they changed the trajectory of their life based on making sure they followed through with the decision. They followed through.
When you put it like that.
What'd you say?
I said it's spooky when you put it like that.
Right. And so my friend and my childhood friend and went to junior high and high school with, she's a teacher. And she said, you are all such great role models and inspiration for our youth. Wow. Thank you so much, Kirsty, for that.
Thanks, Kirsty.
Thank you so much for joining and watching. Kirsty Connect. They can come to your school.
Oh, yeah.
They can do a talk. They can do many things. Yeah. Connect them with the education system. It's not always just about, one type of talent you can do. Some people don't know they have the ability to do tech because their mind hasn't been unlocked. So connect with Unlock Academy. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to just share some inspirational words to individuals who may be watching that are first-time entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, seasoned entrepreneurs, and they're feeling like, I can't do it or I want to give up. Like, what would you say to them? And imagine like it being your younger self and, talking to your younger version, like your best version is yet to come.
Yeah. My biggest thing is like not giving up. Obviously, you have to know when to hold them and when to fold them. But if you know something in your spirit, that's what success is. The only thing that separates a successful person from a non-successful person is a successful person, despite the failures, kept going. And to me, like that's what it is. It could be 5 years to see your vision. It could be 10 years to see your visions. I literally have visions and goals.
No.
My favorite word, the devil's a lie. He'll be back. I'm going to pass it over to Greg and Antoine or JJ.
Okay.
Oh, he's back. All right.
Sorry. Yeah. I was saying I literally have goals and visions that I know that I won't realize until the 2040s, the 2050s. But I have to get up every day in the year 2021 and work on that. That takes a different type of patience and discipline. And that's all it is. I think we talked a little bit on Piece of the Tribe. We, as Americans, we're kind of tricked into this idea of striving for events or like chasing this high or chasing this validation, when that's not what it is at all. So like just getting up every day and doing the work, regardless of what it looks like outside,
Thank you, Zach.
Love that.
Yeah, who wants to go next?
I'll follow up behind that and say, don't be afraid to build a team. A lot of us think that we're gonna make it to the top by ourselves. That's never necessarily true. You need a team. You need strong people around you because you're not gonna be able to give your all every single day. You need somebody else. saying, I'm down. You got me. I got you. I'm going through XYZ. I may be in a financial part that I can't necessarily make it stretch. Can you help me? Yes. Don't be afraid to reach out and say I need XYZ, or don't be afraid to pick somebody else's brain to find out what they know, because you don't know everything. Don't be afraid to find a mentor. Like Zach say, you got to stay down. The only way to come up is to stay down, but don't be afraid to reach out and actually ask people for help. Our community is big on, oh, I got me. I don't need nobody else.
Mhm.
No, we definitely need each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Antoine, JJ?
I'll go next, say the best to last. I'll go and say, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Okay. Like this right here is a key. This is one of our biggest mantras, right? Key stands for keep educating yourself, right? The key to unlocking is to keep educating yourself. If you're not ready when those opportunities present themselves, you won't even know how to seize it. If you're always learning and like every time you learn, like you just like unlock a new part, a new potential, a new part of your brain that you didn't even know how to use before. We have like a huge supercomputer up here. You have to work it though. You have to like exercise it, stretch it. And unfortunately, some people just don't do that. And then they literally see the opportunity in front of them, but don't even know how to grab it or how to start. So like keep educating yourself. Remember that key. That way you're ready when you do get put in that position to unlock some opportunity.
Yeah, we are where we are because of our education.
Mm-hmm.
And education doesn't have to be from a college or an institution. It can come
Right.
from a book.
Right.
Pick up a book.
Yes. Self-education is just as great, just if not better, because you get to choose what you want to do, and it's in line with your passion, with your interests.
Absolutely. JJ.digital, let me hear.
Yeah, so like my dad was saying, like about unlocking different things in your mind and your brain that you didn't know you have. I think a key thing to that is like sometimes taking risks. Like if you do stuff that you never imagined that you wouldn't do, or sometimes just step out of your comfort zone and take a risk, it helps you unlock new things. If you're just stuck doing the same thing you're used to doing every day, or something that you just feel comfortable with, you may not ever unlock what you really have because you're not taking those risks and going out there and be like, okay, maybe I won't like this, or maybe I won't feel like I won't know how to do this, but let me at least try. Because then you might do that, and that might be it for you. That might be your key to success, and then you go for it from there. So I think taking risk and just stepping out of what you call your comfort zone is a good thing to unlock different things.
Absolutely. Success is on the other side of fear. Step out of that
Yes.
comfort zone. Words from a wise young woman. So if you're just now tuning in, I'm going to give you a real quick short video of some of the images of the work that Unlock Academy has done. And I'm going to share it with you guys, and I hope you're inspired to continue to follow them. And when we come back, we're going to find out how you can connect with them. They're going to drop their social media handles and their website information for us to continue to follow. So I saw you vibing. I saw y'all vibing. Shout out to Diva.
Fire.
Shout out to Tizo, also known as Montel Menace. Sorry, Montel. That's his beat. I can connect y'all. He's fire.
Okay.
He was on Chapter Chantla. And when I saw the pictures, I was like, yo, this would go with his beat. And I thought it was awesome. So shout out to Tizo. You can find him also on Instagram, but Montel Menace. I'll connect y'all. Don't worry. But also, Kirsty, she already was like, she would love to connect you all with FBLA and BSU groups. And so she gave her information. So I'll get that to you guys as well. And I'll connect with her as well. But there has to be a part 2 to this because there's no way. There's so much more. And you guys have so many things coming down the pipeline. I didn't even get to ask you that. So before we leave, I want you guys to drop your social media handles and the website and just tell us what is coming down the pipeline for Unlock Academy.
Yeah. I'll get started. I'll try to name what I can think of. I know we got a lot, but so follow us on Instagram and Facebook, unlocked.academy. We put that dot in between. I'm Antoine.digital on Instagram and also Facebook as well. I think I got a TikTok out there too. And what I'm excited that we have coming in the pipeline is version 2 of the Photo Patch app is coming. So really excited about that. Unlock Academy, we're releasing some content around blockchain, like basics and crypto basics coming up real soon. Automated trading bot that we have right now, we allow people to use that bot to get signals. So literally the bot will tell you when to enter a trade and when to exit. So even if you don't have trading experience, we make it easy, but it's about to get easier by like literally automating the process from start to finish. And that's what I'm excited about for like the next quarter.
All right, so we have the queen that's watching, Gina, which is Antoine's soon-to-be wife, fiance right now, wife. I can't wait. And JJ's mom, but also an amazing woman who is inspiring us all. But and there's things coming down the pipeline for her as well. But it has been such a memorable episode of Chapter Chantla. I want to smile so hard, but I do not want my face to be looking crazy because I'm like so happy right now. But this has, as you know, I can mark off a checklist, and it's been amazing. You know how I feel about you all. You guys are amazing. There's so much that's coming down for 2021 and beyond for Unlock Academy. If you don't know, now you know, but you need to get more. Like Antoine held that key. Knowledge is everything. And it's your responsibility to gain the knowledge about Unlock Academy and how it can fit in your life. And if it's not your cup of tea, then introduce it to somebody else. Don't let it stop with you. Like, don't be the person at the stop sign where somebody has to go around. Right. And you could have just took your turn and exposed Unlock to so many other people. If you're ready for success, tech can be a way, and Unlock is a way to get it. If you have a will, Unlock Academy is making a way for you. So I just want to shout out Greg.digital, Antoine.digital, JJ.digital, and Zach. You guys are amazing. True and dear to my heart. I think you guys are amazing, and what you do is just the beginning of how tech is changing. But being unselfish and building a legacy for the people is so amazing to me. And I'm so grateful. I mean, Chapter Chantla, you know, June 7th, 2021.
Let's go.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll take Chantla to that next level, Chantla. Thank you for providing this platform and for bringing us on it. You know, we're huge supporters of everything you do. We've knew you were a genius for years. So thank you. And also, she's humble too. She hasn't mentioned how much she's contributed to, you know, this whole movement that we call the People's Tech Company and Unlock Academy and Photo Patch. She's been on the front lines with us at events, on webinars, on long meetings, brainstorming.
She's not a spectator. Nope.
Right. She's not a spectator, right? She's not really letting it all out, but that'll come out soon, right? We'll put that all out there.
Well, all I can say is thank you for giving me a seat at the table.
Always.
You know, when someone gives you a seat at the table, sit at it. Don't let somebody else take your opportunity to learn and to be a part of something and build legacy. And legacy means something. That's about the only evidence that you existed on this earth is by leaving a legacy, and that's what you guys are doing. So it's been another amazing episode of Chats with Chantla. I'm going to be grinning for days. So thank you so much, Alok, for joining me, and thank you all who tuned in. And if you haven't watched it, share it. Let everyone know more about Unlock Academy and get this name, Unlock Academy, to be a household name.
Yes.
So tech is the new drip. If you didn't know, now you know. Thanks for joining.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.